wife or your a girl, and they're like, oh, all she needs to do is cook and clean. And I'm like, wow, is that really the only criteria these guys are looking out for when picking a wife? Okay, is that what guys want really? And yeah, that's why we're here today. So
Yeah,
let's
so
get it.
like I think from everything we've discussed in previous podcasts, we know that like what we look for in women is different from what they look for in us. So cooking and cleaning are
Of course,
priorities. Like
of
for
course.
like
So
okay,
yeah.
let's start with cooking and cleaning as like chores, right? As a man, first of all,
Mm-hmm.
do you guys think that you should be able to cook like as a man? Like you should be able to take care of it. You should
Okay.
be independent in terms of like
Mm-hmm.
cooking, and you should be able to cook, clean, do all those basic chores.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys
If
think?
you know, you go first.
So I mean, to answer your question of you might be able to cook and clean, like yes, like especially before you like get a girlfriend or something to that effect, like you
Mm-hmm.
still will be doing those things for yourself. It's not like your house is going to be dirty and like you'll be hungry and you're buying food every night
Mm-hmm.
until you meet a girl. So like that border, like you have to definitely should be able to cook and clean at least for yourself. Like keep your clean, like your man's sphere, your manosphere. Keep your area
Mm-hmm.
around you as a man clean.
Yeah, in my opinion, yeah, I agree. You should definitely be able to take care of yourself before you even get a girl. Like, if people that can't take care of themselves should not even be thinking about getting anybody, because you need to be at a certain level so that you don't, become a burden to the other person. So she's not coming in there to be a slave. Like, that's what I think. And or he or she's not coming in there to be a slave. I want to also jump into something that relates with, women also thinking, oh, men should be like their wallet or something. As a woman, yeah, like it's expected that, okay, your guy should be up there, right, financially, but even you as a human being, you should be working towards independence in some sense, because if you're out there just waiting for someone that's going to um spoil you, take care of you till you die, you always be, a burden in that sense. And I don't think anyone should ever, sit down and just not do what they can do. You get me? So I feel there's always that level of what you need to do for your own self in your own life as a person to progress healthily and
So
be a good partner.
so like
Yeah.
when we say cooking, we know that there are levels to cooking, right? You know, like there are degrees. So from boiling egg, frying, all the way to like
Come on.
stew and all that kind of stuff. So personally, I think that every human being should be able to cook at a basic level. You don't have to be a pro or know how to cook like stew or anything. That's why they're
Mm-hmm.
takeaway and stuff. So at least you should be able to cook as a man. You should be able to cook to be able to supply your needs. Like every day, you can cook. You can boil egg, fry egg.
Mm-hmm.
Cook rice, cook stew. Those basic things.
Declan.
And be able to
Yeah.
clean as well. Like, and then now the topic is: do you want your woman to only be able to do that, right?
Mm-hmm. Like that should be like yeah. The topic is,
Yeah.
do you like should the sole purpose of getting a woman is because of like those two qualities,
Okay. So let's
right?
let's just let's just keep it real. Like we're all men here, right? Let's just keep it real. So in terms of the roles, right, the gender roles between men and women, the dynamic is different, right? We know that as a
Mm-hmm.
man, you're supposed to be a provider. In terms of the family and the relationship, we're talking about a family now, not just a relationship. We're talking about like husband and wife.
Mm-hmm.
So, as a man, you should be the provider, provide security, provide discipline, um, and all the other needs. Like you should be the leader in the house. And as a woman, you should be nurturer and you should you should make the home, and like the man should bring in the goods and services, and the woman should cater and make the home. So
Mm-hmm.
um and then we also know that in terms of like the exchange, right, what men are looking for is like the sexual sex and cooking and cleaning and all that kind of thing. And also women are looking for that, but then they
Mm-hmm.
want someone that provides for them and um what's it called, supports them financially, emotionally, and is there for them as well. So I think cooking and cleaning is a key aspect. Yeah, are you guys there? Okay, I
Good
thought I
deal.
finished
Good
now.
deal.
Cooking, cleaning, those are key roles that's like your wife should do for you. Like
Mm.
those are like it's just the same thing as your husband. Like he should work, he should bring money in, and he should, do his provisional aspects. The same way a woman should also do her nurturing aspects in the home. So there has to be that balance. Like again, now if you say the only thing, like, oh, that's what you that's the only thing you expect from your wife, then those are like the basic rules. So I think those are the
Okay.
basic
Could you
rules.
say
Those are the
those two roles
fundamental.
again? Could you say what men are looking for
So the
in a
dynamic,
relationship
right?
and what? Yeah.
If we talk about the exchange, like in the sexual marketplace, we know that men, when we interact with women, we want to have sex, and
Mm-hmm.
also we know that as in terms of the woman being the wife, she has to have qualities that stand out from other women, right? So, for instance, if you were to pick a wife, say there are like a lot of women, like obviously you have to find them attractive as well, but there are other qualities after the attractiveness that you look at, like her personality, her
Mm-hmm.
skills, and all these kind of things. So cooking and cleaning come as part of that. Because if you had two women like equally attractive, one could cook and clean, one couldn't, like,
Mm-hmm.
and you can cook and clean as well. You think about your kids, like, okay, if you're gonna have kids, you probably don't want to hire a maid. You probably want your wife to do the cooking and cleaning if you're not at home, and vice versa. So that's why I think cooking and cleaning is a fundamental. It shouldn't even be debatable. Like, it's a fundamental. There's no
Okay.
question for debates. Like,
Okay. Got you. So to that point, I will say, yeah, you said men are looking for sex and someone who can cook and clean, basically, and women are looking for um someone that will spend
Provider.
on them, right?
sorry.
Someone that will spend on them, someone that will spend on them and take care of them, right? That's what women
Yeah,
are
like
looking
in
for in a
terms of the
relationship.
dynamic in relationship, like what we
Okay.
exchange, what we both
So
look for,
yeah,
and
that's
they're
what
also
we
looking for sex.
like.
They're also human beings as well.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I'm going to say like sex is not a one-sided thing, first
yeah,
off, and they both, to me, I feel that's something they both need, and that's something that will build their relationship,
facts,
and it helps
facts.
them progress, become form a stronger bond, right? And the we a man looking for someone that they can just sleep with. I don't know why the person shouldn't just go to a brothel, and
Right.
if that's what's the big deal. If that what the big deal is, because you were talking about, okay, they should be looking for what would differentiate their wives from someone else, right? So everybody, you can knock everybody. Some guys even knock themselves these days. So you can
You don't have
knock
to
if you want
explain
to knock, you
yourself
can
in
actually knock.
detail.
So someone and
Go explain yourself. I don't
someone
mind
who
you.
wants to, someone who can cook and clean, right? So of course, like, cooking is okay, is a skill that can be learned, right? And which everybody is expected to get. So if your wife can cook and clean compared to another girl, yeah, that's good. But if that's the only thing she has over other girls, then that might be a problem, because you're like, okay, where is the smarts? Like smarts both intellectually as per book smart, and both street smart as per applying it in real life. Like, she can think her way through tough situations with you. She can give you advice on when you're making a decision and stuff like that. So if she doesn't have those qualities, right, I don't think, because me, as I say this, I don't know about you guys, but I really cannot date or get with someone that is not smart. Like, if I speak to you and all I'm getting out is garbage, I can't, no matter, if you like, be finer than God, I cannot
What?
be with you. Like, it can't happen. Like, it's just, that's like that's a turn off. That's a major component to a human being. Like, you should be able to rationalize to a good degree. You get me? So if I'm speaking to you and you're just not flowing with me on the same level, yeah, it's just that's not wifey material. I can be a friend, but wifey material, get me? No. So yeah, and sexting is, bro. Come on, like, it's part of the stuff. You can't. That would be really. I don't know. Why would people place sex as a criteria to choose? Like, how? First of all, how horny is that person? Like, because you're getting married because you could not get someone to sleep with, or what? Like, I'm
No, we're saying,
confused.
like,
So
I'm not saying that's like, I'm saying those are the basic. So
So what did you get this basic
what?
stuff
Okay,
from?
in terms of
Okay,
men,
wait,
in
that's
terms of
like
man and
that's the
woman, right?
question.
As
Like,
okay, fine. Go ahead. Actually, you've not
Yeah,
spoken.
no, that's like no, like before I answer this question, like
Okay.
I have to understand these dynamics of like the sex. Is it like just for relationship or like a marriage or a marriage? Like that's what I want to get specific.
All right.
Like,
So like what I'm saying is, men and women, right? Like
right.
husband and wife. That's a basic what's it called? Agreement in marriage. Like if you when you take your vows, like you guys agree to willingly like be committed to each other sexually, like, and
Right.
just each other, right? You guys agree with that, right? So that's why I was highlighting that out there, and then I'm saying that in terms of what each party has to provide, like the woman, like in terms of for the other party, like what does the woman provide for the man and what does the man provide for the woman? So what does the woman provide for the man? Obviously sex is a fundamental. Then the other qualities there, like your personality and your nurturing aspect as a mother, like all those qualities, cooking and cleaning comes as part of that. Like as in terms of
It's
like
expected
traditional
from the
rules.
woman.
Yeah, but
Fair
it doesn't mean that that's the only thing she should do. But like those are the traditional rules for a mother. Like a mother should be able to cater, because
To
that's
cater for our kids.
cater for
Yeah.
our kids as well. Not even
Exactly.
for you, but for the kids. Like, and then you said something, Uzom. Like you said, once you said, I don't know, I just saw this. Once you said cooking and cleaning, you just said, I'm not saying it's related to that, but you said you want her to be smart as well.
Yeah.
She's obviously going to be smart, like,
No, some people really don't talk about having an intellectual wife. All they say in fresh and on fresh and fit, they'll be like, she doesn't need a high school degree, she doesn't need a college degree or whatever. She just come here, cook my food, and shut up. That's
Yeah,
all I
but
hear.
look,
Yeah.
this is where you're mixing it up. You're equating intellectual degree to intelligence.
No,
Intelligence.
I said book smart and street smart. There's a reason I said the two. Like they both it's like a pedestal. One is a pedestal for the other one. If you go to school, right? If you go to school, that's one. You need that foundational level, right? Then to apply it in real life is a different level.
Okay, so when we talk about school now, do we mean high school? Okay, say you met two girls, right? One went to high school and finished high school, and like they're both equally attracted to you, and the other one, and they both can cook and clean, and the other one finished college. Which one? And they are both street smart. Which one would you rather?
Which one will I go for? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll go for the one that is able to use the knowledge they have to progress their way in life. That's the street smart I'm talking about at the end of the day. So is that general being able to look at a situation and solve a problem, look at a problem and solve it and create a solution, basically. So they have to be problem solvers too, not just some shiny object or a sex tool like all these men would want, like. So that's just how I see it.
Yeah.
See, but my thing is this, TJ. Like now, for me to actually then fully answer this question, like in the regards of let me say, like this question in general about should my woman be able to cook and clean? Like, honestly, I think it really depends. Like, I'm not going to be like 100% be like my wife has to cook and clean. No, but she should be able to. Yes.
Okay.
Suppose I marry a doctor today now in the United States that is probably working like 50 hours a week. Like, that would be like dumb of me to expect a pot of soup when she's back to be made. Like, she was just in the hospital standing on her feet for like 12 hours straight. And I think in regards to the cleaning, like there's obviously like general things that can still be clean. Like, it'd be nice maybe like if I was on my own, my wife took initiative and just did my laundry. Cool. But to like, especially like in America here, like houses tend to be fucking huge. Like, it's gonna be crazy for me to expect my wife, maybe for example, that's a doctor that is like, working like this 50 hours, 60 hours, just coming back, putting her lab coat off, putting on the maid cleaning uniform, and start cleaning the whole house. Like, I mean, like in the end, like I feel like no, like the truth is, be honest, like there's a kind of money you will have, like this question we have, like would not really be a major deal breaker. Like if I have money
But I
to
see all these rich
like if
people.
I have money
But I see all
to
these rich people. What sense is that?
like what sense does that make? Like, bro, like literally I can hire cleaners to clean my whole house. like it didn't then in that case, like I didn't have to do it and she didn't have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And like also in terms of food, like I can literally hire people that cook at parties to
Mm-hmm.
cook for me and bring food for me like every week. So in that regards, like I can't just now be like expecting her to cook and clean. But um, like I said, like if I married a woman that like didn't care about those, like that's different. But it's not like she does why I married her for. And to tie it back to your point of being smart, I think that's the most ultimate important thing for me is being smart. In America, 35%
Which
of
was good,
kids
was good.
can read above or in their grade level. Like children are legit not knowing how to read. Children are legit not knowing how to spell things like window, biscuits. It's a real thing happening. So like, will I marry a woman that cooked and cleaned, but then my child cannot read?
Mm.
Like it defeats the point of having a good woman. Like so, I feel like it's in the end, like we have to like kind of not shift away from the old, but also like marry to like tackle modern problems. Kids are getting dumber. Kids are getting irresponsible. Kids are lacking discipline. It's the reason why people like Fresh and Fit can come and they can they can always start promoting like men can have multiple girlfriends. Like we're taking advice from we're taking dating advice from people that have never even had any successful relationship. They bring
Mm.
prostitutes on the show. Like that's really a big problem that a good father and a good mother, a
Though,
good
to
husband
Fresh
and
and
wife.
Fit, I really like what Fresh and Fit has done for like men, sure. Like
Yeah.
How?
it's just
What's
I
the
Oh,
really
part
it's
that
do.
it's
I
made
really
men
I
made men
really
better.
do. I really do. But one thing I like, they have a whole section where like they have like maybe 5 6 things. They are like they do
oh,
talk about your finances, talk about every
right,
other thing, right? But when it comes down to
right.
women, the way they talk about and handle it is like, how do you guys know all this, then come down to women and just forget everything? Like, what happened to it? What happened to discipline? What happened to self-control? What happened to everything? Like, all of a sudden you just want to smash everything you see. You can't think anymore because all you know is, oh, if you can't get to smash her, she should get out. What about where are the core values that you should build, that you're talking about in finances and all that? You get me? So it's like they just turn off the switch of rational thinking
Yeah.
and just go straight for sex and all that. And to me, it's just appalling in that sense. That's only why I can, I'm calling them out in that sense here. But to me, I think they've done really good for like
Yeah,
No,
men.
but
they
let's go
did.
back to
They did.
topic. Let's go back to topic because something I said or I was looking at was just the difference between. I think what we're mixing up is the difference between a wife and a housewife. Because what you said, Ifena, like I had to like do
Mhm.
that research. So here it's saying like a wife is a woman that is married. All married women are wives. A woman who doesn't work outside the home is called a housewife.
Mhm.
Not all wives are housewives.
Mhm.
We know that, right? So
Right.
it's like
Mhm.
I think from the fresh and fit aspects, because
Mhm.
normally Myron is the one that has the stakes because his women are not don't work. So in terms of that, in terms of their roles are in the home, that's what he would prefer them to do because they're like working for him and stuff like that. So he would prefer them. That's part of their job, cooking and cleaning and stuff like that. So I think it depends. Back to what you were saying, Ifena, on if your wife is a wife or a housewife. Because if your wife is a wife, then obviously she has a job and other things she's doing, and she also has her home duties as well as you as the man. But if she's a housewife, then that is a prerequisite. Do you guys agree with that? Like
Mm.
as a housewife,
Um, what I would say is, what is different between a housewife and a wife that goes out to work? It's just the fact that one works at home and one doesn't, right? Is that it?
No, uh, right. I mean,
well,
when you
yeah,
say housewife, go
like the
ahead,
housewife
Flag.
doesn't work. Like the housewife just works for the husband, presumably, and does like. But the
Works
wife
for? Are you
goes.
sure?
Yeah, that's what
She
the
works for the
definition here
husband.
is.
I didn't hear
Well,
work for
okay,
the husband.
works
Here,
at
she doesn't
home.
leave her
Works.
home.
She
She
doesn't
work.
work outside the home.
Yeah.
So she probably has
So
her own job
basically,
at home or something, or maybe online. Or I
basically,
don't know.
everybody can be a housewife or a house husband or whatever it is, right? Because right now, especially in COVID, the idea of housewife will be so strange because in COVID, people were working and they were at home. So how do you differentiate the housewives from the ones that go outside to work and all that, right? You can't, probably, because they are both at home and they are both working from home. Yeah. So what's the difference? Is there any way you could like
I
tell me?
mean, like, in my own opinion, when somebody says they're a housewife, I would the first thing that comes to mind is like they're not receiving a paycheck that
Mm-hmm.
like is already like that is taxed from a corporation, meaning like they're not getting paid from any companies, like they are getting allowances to do like basic needs. So,
Hmm.
think about this like when back then, like in the 80s or something, or in Nigeria, where a man is about to go to work, he leave 50K on the table so that
Mm-hmm.
the wife can buy this, buy that, do this, do this, do that. Like she's still working. Like if you think about it, it's not like she just took the 50K and put in a Versace bag. Like she
Mm-hmm.
actually had duties to do with that money that had to be fulfilled. So
Mm-hmm.
it still boils down to the point of what TJ trying to say in the regards of like she still has some form of fulfillment and obligations to feel. But
Of course.
like when somebody says they're a housewife to me, the first thing that comes to mind is that their income is independent of any organization, meaning
Yeah.
they don't get paid by anybody that is a company, I
Okay.
taxable LLC, anything. Yeah, like
Okay, if
they
we're
are
going
just
based off that point,
right,
okay, then she definitely has to find a way to give value to the family, right? And
right,
it has to be clear and consistent, if you ask me. So of course I won't advise any woman to do that to herself, because
right,
it's like there's one thing for you to be working or able to work or wanting to work, but your husband is like, yo, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. I'm already making this amount of money. If you feel like you ever do not want to work, just leave. There's a difference than a situation where the woman solely got married to the man, so she never gets to work.
Yeah,
That
there's a difference. Yeah,
there's a big
big
difference.
difference. Yeah.
So the second one is more likely to be the one that would want to run away with like half of your money,
Mm.
because she doesn't have a foundation. If you leave her tomorrow, she's basically useless in that sense, because all her life all she knows how to do is latch on people and depend on people. All right. The first one is a hard worker, is someone that's built themselves up and came to get married to you. And yeah, she's working and all, and she likes to achieve her own goals, right? So when she's in a position where she can choose, yeah, she can make a decision in that sense, but it's not going to be based off financial needs solely, right? Of course, like in a relationship, there are different needs, right? But when you're getting married solely because of money, right, or because of just solely because of something, there is a problem in that kind of marriage. Like in to me, I feel marriage or whatever setting you guys put it in, there should always be a fact that if this person can't do it, this other person can. So if I can't make the money, God forbid, she should be able to make the money.
But also,
Like,
I just want to ask you a question. What's the key word?
bro, come on.
it's a
What's the
If
key
I
word
can't
in that
make the
sentence? You
money,
just say
she
she
should be
should,
able. No, that
because
is what a wife is. A marriage is a partnership.
y-
Imagine your business partner not being able to understand the purpose of the business, not being able to grow a certain part of the business, right? Of course, the partnership enhances, it makes you guys more efficient, right? Because of maybe I know how to handle finances and you know how to get the clients, right? That would be a perfect combo, right? But the basic level of, okay,
combos.
we can both look at finances and see the problems, we can both understand the kind of clients the business wants. Those kind of things are non-negotiables. We should both have those skills and be able to do it individually. But because of specialization, we choose not to. So we just focus solely on what we are good at, what we are good at, so that we get the best. I don't know if you've done economics, but there's something called specialization where you just focus on your core skill. Like, let's say Nigeria and, and Ghana. Maybe Nigeria is
don't
known
they
for
use that
making
as an
gold,
example?
right? Nigeria is known for making gold efficiently, and Ghana is known for producing cotton efficiently. So Ghana will be producing cotton, will focus on producing cotton. Nigeria focus on producing this thing,
Gold,
and they partner together so that they
the
can
gold
mix
cotton.
and get, yeah, they can get like resources more efficiently, right? So that's what it should be. So the problem to me is when people now come and place basic life, basic basic traits like being able to cook for yourself, having sex, having someone to cook and clean, all this basic stuff. When people place it as criteria to getting a wife, to getting a girlfriend,
Right.
it's like you're
I
looking
mean,
for somebody that can
I
do.
mean,
You're
I
looking.
sorry, I want to cut you
Oh,
short. You can understand like if we're taking this based on fresh and faith, right? I think the modern woman,
No,
right?
it's not. It's not.
Okay,
It's
but
not
okay, if we talk about like
fresh
the
and
modern compared to traditional women, like that, like because we know like traditional roles back again, you know, hunter gatherer kind of thing. The men go and hunt, the women gather resources like from the hunter
bro,
gatherer
no,
times.
what last did any man hunt? Like,
Yes, but you know what I'm talking. You know
like,
what I mean. I'm talking about like the ancient, the oldest days, right? This is what we know that okay, the men will go and
can man
hunt,
kill a
bring,
lion
yeah,
or
they'll go. And,
kill
no, I'm not
a
saying hunt like
like.
they'll hunt, come back, bring the food, and the women will
Mhm.
gather it and make food and make it home, right? It's like you've heard like you know, a woman like makes what's that saying? You guys know about the woman makes it turns the house into a home or something like that. I don't know. There's a saying like that. But back to what I was saying. What was I saying? What was I saying? Yes. So I think is in relation to like the modern day woman, like in terms of like cooking and cleaning. I think the emphasis on being able to cook and clean is so loud because women today can't, right? And great grandmothers could, and it's like okay, this should be a basic thing you should be able to do. And back to Ifena, like what you're saying, okay, if say your wife is working and she comes home, she shouldn't do it after a long day's work. You can, if you can cook and you've been at home or you've done less hours, you should do the cooking, but she should be able to cook the same way a man should be able to cook and clean. Like a man should also be able to cook and clean. A woman should also be able to cook and
I
clean.
was going to say, if you're going back to traditional values, when last did a man didn't go outside to hunt for food?
Yeah,
Like,
but
when last
nowadays,
are you seeing men
nowadays,
going
like the
out
hunting is
because
not
why are we all
necessarily.
stuck up on women's old traditional values, forgetting that we're not doing ours anyway.
No, we
So
are. It's different now.
TJ,
It's different.
when last did your dad ever show you how to go into the
He's
forest
right.
and
TJ is right.
kill
TJ is right.
an animal?
I kill an animal. Okay, hold on.
TJ is right.
So
TJ is
now,
right.
I'm right.
Yeah, like in the sense you're about to say like
Yeah, like it's
but
different
that-
because men
that
like
same
men,
dynamic
yeah,
involved.
men like
Okay,
hunt
men
in
what?
different ways now. We don't go and kill
Right.
animals, but we say for instance working longer hours than like our spouse, our woman. That is hunting in a specific way, or doing something like you don't have to hunt animals. You can do something that as far as you're providing and you're putting in effort and you know you're putting in efforts
I'll
for the
argue
family.
right now in the modern era, women are more hunters than men. If that's what you're saying,
In what way?
more women,
OnlyFans?
we no, like even in when we're talking about OnlyFans, like they are more like going outside to get the kill, to get the bag. They are more like oriented on making a way for themselves compared to
Yes,
men.
but the less morality behind in getting the hunting.
No, yeah,
Like,
but
Yeah.
that's one that you can want to weigh. Okay, is this moral? Is this not moral? Yeah, you can weigh that one on the scale of morality.
Okay, but
we're
give
talking
us an
about
example.
hunters. No, from what I said, like more women are in universities pursuing a degree. More women are heading towards financial stability than men. Like all these things I've called are they lies?
Well,
Like we can see
okay,
more
I agree
women-
with more women being in pursuing a degree, but there's one thing in pursuing a degree and education, and there's another thing in making a living for yourself. Men might not pursue a degree, but they might pursue sports careers, they might pursue trading and all these kind of real estate things, you know. So it's not necessarily the degree, like you might say.
but
It's
more
not
women are
necessarily the
in-
degree.
more
We're
women
talking
are in school,
about
but it's about making a
OnlyFans.
living.
You mentioned OnlyFans, right?
Mhm.
You mentioned OnlyFans is another form of hunting, right? More women, like I said, more
Yeah,
women
yeah.
are pursuing
no,
financial freedom compared to men.
see, I'm going to give my rebuttal here.
Mhm.
And this is because my rebuttal does not come from the fact that you're wrong. But my rebuttal comes from the fact that you're negating a lot of things that are happening to men lately.
Not like you guys are
Like-
not doing the same, but yeah, let's go.
No. I'm talking about like, bro, like men are literally getting
Emasculated.
like,
Yeah.
thank
But
you.
women are getting emasculated. Like it's the
Exactly,
same
so,
thing.
like,
Feminine,
It's
yeah.
the
No,
same
it's
thing.
not the same thing because like if a man, like a woman getting emasculated, think about Serena Williams. If she's emasculated, like
that's
what
a ma-
the media portrays her to be, she's going to dominate women. But
Yeah,
Serena
but what's
Williams
good, man?
lost to a man that is not even ranked when they play tennis in her prime. That's
What point
the
are you
issue.
trying to make?
Yeah. So
Sorry, what
like
point are you trying to make?
That's
let
good.
me
It's
learn.
been a while, man.
So like
We're just back
the
here at the
average
podium
man
now,
is not
you
even
know.
really like a
Know the
man. The
lines.
testosterone levels in a man today, like in an average 20-something-year-old, is almost like he's 70 in like the 1950s and 40s. Men are not even really being men anymore. So you can't even be like, oh, like why is it that men are not gathering, men are not this? It's because men are actually no longer really men.
No, it's because
Actually,
society has
I have a good
evolved
point.
to a level. Society has evolved to a level where you don't need that brute survival, like all those brute survival
What do you
skills.
mean? It is society didn't evolve. Society, like when society did evolve, but those were the disadvantages that came with it. The
What
food,
disadvantage?
bro. For example, um, the sperm count in men have dropped by 50%. Men are no longer as able to have kids like easier
Yes.
as it was
Same
before.
thing with increase in abortion. So like
This is an
the
abortion is a whole
increase
different thing.
in
That's
no
man's
people
choice.
devaluing like having kids
Right, but it's
has led
different.
to us not having
It's
kids.
different. It's different than
What do
when
you mean
you
by
are
EPS over?
biologically
What do you mean by
altered to be
EPS?
like that.
Oh, the
How are we
episodes.
biologically
This is like the
altered?
next one.
Or
Food we eat.
we just don't
No,
prioritize.
food we eat. Like, do you know how much BPA?
Hmm.
BPA is like the things you find, for
Who makes
example,
those
even
foods? Men.
no, like yes, men make it, but like in the end, like you don't even control who really makes it. Like you go to the store, Uzom, for example, you go to the store, right? You buy your
Nah, I don't
tomatoes,
post
you
them, but
cook
if you go
stew.
on
You
Uzom's
forget that
LoveGator, you
that
see
tomato
them.
was grown with so many
I might start doing more
pesticides. You
podcasts.
forget
By
that that
When I
men.
tomato
start
was grown.
philosophy like this semester, I might start
Yes, but
doing.
then like
I
that's
might
like
tell
even if
Uzom
it
to
was
start doing
made by
some
men,
philosophical
the other
podcasts
men
as well.
that is affecting is negating
Of
it.
different
Like
topics,
for example, those tomatoes when you spray with so many pesticides, they are sprayed with hormone inhibitors, so you can't your testosterone can't even really flow well. As a
But
result, like
then yeah, sorry.
you're eating food that you think is actually healthy for you, but then in reality is really killing you and actually
Well,
lowering your drive as a man.
but life, what do you call it? Expectancy has increased over the years, not
And that's
decreased.
because
Yeah.
of no, that's because of medical advancements.
So, but still, we are not dying because of those things.
We're not dying, yes. That's I'm not saying we're dying. I'm just saying that the drive that men probably had back then in the baby boomer generation to have like an American dream and buy a house can definitely never be in our generation. Like
Yeah.
I disagree with that.
But
I
I want
disagree
to
with
bring
that
us back
so
to the top,
much.
why?
back to
So
what we started
how
from.
do you
Like,
have guys like Goggins? How do you have like Andrew Tate? How do
Maybe
you have
this
like
is not from our
Hamza?
generation. What are you saying?
Hamza, we have Hamza. Hamza is from our generation.
Hamza is my
Ish.
Hamza,
nigga though in Nigeria.
Like
What do you mean?
Hamza,
Who's that Hamza guy?
Hamza
Hamza, my
Ahmed.
Hamza
nigga.
is one, bro.
Huh?
Hamza is one, bro. What are you
Is what?
saying?
Hamza is what?
He's one man. For
Is
every
what?
one man you met,
No,
for every one man,
I'm calling
okay, look,
people. Okay.
let me
Okay,
give you
what?
a, let me actually supplement what you're even saying. For that one Hamza you just mentioned, I can
Mm-hmm.
bet when you go to Canada, without
Mm-hmm.
implicitly thinking, you see 50 people that fit the criteria I'm talking
Which is
about of
still
that
the same thing
person.
that was in the past. Out of
No, what are you
1,000, then
saying?
in the past, where you have like hundred of soldiers compared to one man that was like really strong at like a different level. There's always
Okay,
like
Yeah, there's
that
always
guy that goes
there's
the extra
values.
mile.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
always that guy that
yeah,
goes the
there
extra
will always
mile.
be a great
Like yeah.
extra mile. But bro,
Mm-hmm.
it's not like people like literally
It's just what you're
what
doing now.
years
Let me tell you what you're doing. What you're doing right
years
now
ago.
is sorry. What you're doing right now is like when people come and be like, damn, the world is such a sinful place. Like 200 years ago, it wasn't. Like it is the same thing. It's just maybe the internet is making it more obvious, if you ask me, because we have the internet, right? So it's bringing it out to more people. And the thing about the internet is it's very good at spreading the bad, like what is bad. Like you will never see the internet purporting what is good, like to mass amount of
I'm
people.
not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that there are not good things in this world.
And I'm not saying that either. I'm
I'm
just
just
saying it is being what you're saying is exaggerated because of the amount of pressure the internet has put on it. Yeah,
how
yeah.
how is that exaggerated that the
Who told you
spend
the
count
amount?
men.
Who told you the sperm? Where did you
Like
get the sperm count of people in this thing?
you
Who
can
gave you
always
that
Google
information?
this fact.
Yeah, who
Nobody
gave you
does
that
that.
information? Where did you get
It's
it?
on the internet. It's facts. This is like these are
Do you know I could go on this same internet and put something there? You go and say,
and
yes,
that the
look at
testosterone in men is increasing
yeah.
and it
Do
Yeah.
you
has
know I could
increased
make
over
my
the
own
Or
years.
it's
website?
So
this is
why
I
would
can
you
do
scientifically
that
like it's
too.
probably scientifically checked and all.
There
since
But I
was
want to
there
go
was
back to
this
the point
stuff.
we're making about men hunting. I had something
Okay.
like so the whole thing of with
go
this
ahead.
whole thing started from like I said like men hunting and women gathering and all this kind of like cooking and cleaning thing. And you were saying women hunt in different ways, right? I think a key thing now is like the intersexual dynamics between men and women. Like so now we know that what do I highlighted this earlier. What do each party want from the other? What men want from women, right? But like fundamentally is sex, right? We're never talking about marriage or anything. What women want from men fundamentally is sex plus security and provision, right? because in terms of from like, you know what I mean, like provision and like security. Do
I
you
feel
understand what I'm
that
saying?
dynamic still stands though. I feel
No, I'm talking
even if
about
women and
traditional
women come
roles now. Hold
together.
on, I'm getting some
But did you
traditional
say, but did you
roles.
say women and women?
No, women. What do you mean?
You say what do women want from women? Is that what you
No, I
said?
said what do women want from men?
Okay.
Yeah, what do women? So men, what
Okay.
women want from women, and what women want from men. And then something is, in terms of this stuff now, is like, okay, each gender will try to get something from the other without giving in so much. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, for instance, right, this go to be linked to one
Yeah,
to
the
the point I'm trying to
selfishness of
make.
human beings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for instance, a man that wants sex from a woman might not and doesn't want to provide or do anything, might do it in a cunning way and get what he wants and dip, right? And same for a
Mm-hmm.
woman that wants money or something. I'm not saying women are broke or anything. That's not my point. But if a woman wants something from a man, whether it be money or something, anything that he provides that she needs, she might get it and dip, right? I'm not saying this all women, but this is like,
This is something that can happen.
yeah, this is
Yes.
something that can
Yes.
happen. So my point now
Mm-hmm.
is the point of the hunting and gathering stuff um was done. Also, like, first of all, we know the traits in men and women. Men are physically stronger and all this kind of thing, so they'll go and hunt and do the hard labor, right? And also we know there's
Mm-hmm.
competition amongst men. So these men that would do this hunting and gathering thing would do it, and like in the process be competing with other men, right? For said to meet the requirements of said woman, right? Do you agree with
Mm-hmm.
that? Yeah.
Say that one more time. I
So
didn't
like
get that.
men that would, what's it called? That would like,
Sorry.
men always compete. We always compete, right? And women are also
Humans
competing.
are compete.
Every human
Humans
beings are
compete.
competing.
Yeah.
So
For
my
competitive
point
things.
is back, because I just want to stay on topic. Back to this cooking and cleaning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cooking and cleaning for a woman can be one of the things in your checklist of a wife, and that's why every woman should be able to do it. Like I'm giving a lot of examples, but I want us to stick with the topic and
So what you're saying is some people just prefer their wives to be able to cook and clean. Is that what you just
yeah, my
like?
point is
It's
that
like a
a lot of
preference. Is that
men,
what
like if you line up 100 men, 90 or
Mhm.
95% of the men would prefer their wives to be able to cook and clean.
Yeah, but remember the topic is should your wife only be able to cook and clean? Meaning, should that
She
be the priority of you looking for a wife?
no,
Be, so
so
because
like
there's
no,
nothing wrong with a wife that can cook and clean.
yeah, no.
Like that's not the problem. But what is the problem I have with these men is they are fixated at the most important value in a woman is that she must be able to cook and clean. And I don't agree to that. I do
I
not
think
agree
I
to
think
that.
a reason for that is
In fact,
because
it is almost irrelevant if the woman is willing to learn. Like if I get a wife, I'd rather have a wife that cannot cook but is really like smart and able to solve problems and learn, right? Than a wife that can cook and not. Because the one that can learn and is smart would understand that, oh, okay, at a point, if I say, oh, babe, we are cooking this, she will sit down and learn how to do it if it's necessary for us. If I feel, oh, babe, you need to know how to do this, right? So to me, if she's not smart, it's just a deal breaker. Like she just has to be smart and eager to learn. Like I think most marriages fail, most relationships fail because one side has decided not to learn, or one side is really poor at learning. So if you don't know how to communicate, if you don't know how to rationalize, if you don't know how to adapt to a situation, right, your marriage, your relationship, or whatever will crumble at the end of the day. So if you're asking me now, let's go around on this one.
okay.
What three qualities three or five, 3 to 5 depends. What 3 to 5 qualities would you want in a woman that you want? TJ, you go
Like
first.
a
Yeah.
wife, right?
Yeah, of course, like you're looking to marry this girl. Like, I don't
Okay.
know what
I
other
know
point
this
there
is
would
sound
be
like
to
fresh and
getting a girl.
fetish, but three F's now. Fit, feminine, friendly, right? Now let me break that down.
It's,
So fit in terms of, first of all, attractive, like as a
mm-hmm,
spouse for me, like you have to be attractive because
mm-hmm,
that's what my
normal,
love is based off.
normal,
Like I can't be dating a
mm-hmm.
flipping
A
animal
tadpole,
or something
normal,
like no,
normal.
no offense. So second one is feminine, like be nurturing and feminine in terms of being nurturing, being you care for me, like you care for the kids, you have a motherly like heart, And the last one will be, and that also comes with cook and cleaning. Cook and cleaning is so those traits are into the feminine. So fits, that
Fresh
attract,
fit and what?
fits, which is attractive.
Right.
Feminine is like all the motherly traits, right? And then what was the last one I said?
FFF. What's the last
Friendly.
one?
Friendly in terms of like,
Friendly.
let me see. Friendly, not too friendly as in friendly with me, like, you know, as a husband, not friendly with, you know what I mean,
With
like
other men.
with other
Okay.
men, like, yeah. So
Okay. So could you, if you had two more to add, what would you add?
two more, let me see.
Because you just
Because
answered
men, we know
question.
we don't really look for much. Like, it's very simple. Like, okay, smart
Well,
as well.
speak for yourself, Sha,
Smart,
but,
smart as well. Like, every,
Okay.
I think honestly, I think every human being has intelligence to a certain degree, but obviously that's
So
why they're IQ.
okay, so
they're
explain
different.
what you mean by smart then, because I don't
Smart
want the
in
fake.
terms of like prudence. You know what I mean? Like being acting right, like you have right reason in action. So for all your actions, there's a there's a good reason behind your actions, and you're thinking of like
That's
now
dangerous.
and the future. Like,
Dangerous
so if
thing.
we have money, you're not just thinking of, oh, let's, you know, go on a holiday or something like that. Like, okay, how can we invest, all that kind of stuff, you
Let's
know?
get Louis Vuitton.
Exactly. And then another one would be, I think that's everything, man. Like, there's nothing else, guy. Like,
That's all you want. Okay,
yeah.
four things. Okay. So if your five qualities.
I mean, in all honesty, like I don't really have like a,
List.
List.
Like,
I don't really have like a
But
list.
yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
like I'm
Same
like,
here. Like
but I mean,
just
like in the end, like I still believe that as a man, I'm growing, like mentally, physically, and everything within the space positively. But like, I feel like in the end, like I'll first answer the questions to it. But like, firstly, like I believe that my wife or whoever I'm going to be in partnership with has to be like complimentary with me, like not like we are matching, but complimentary. So let's just say I go to the gym, but then here and there I like to eat McDonald's, like versus like she eats healthy. See, like that's complimentary. Like okay, like I can learn to be a little better in my diet because of her. Maybe she doesn't go to the gym consistently, but she's always willing to go, and I go. Like the complementary relationship is like okay, I might be the gym body she really never had.
like makes
So
you better in that sense. She makes you better.
right. So
Okay.
so in that case, I'm looking for something complimentary, but I do have non-negotiables though. Like
Mhm. Yeah, let's
I
hear.
can't marry a woman that when I talk one, I talk two.
So
I
not
can't marry a
talkative,
woman
not the
like
talkative.
yeah, not
submissive.
talkative, controversial, argumentative. At the same time,
Mhm.
like there's times where like like I'm not trying to marry like at the same time like a pet or like a dummy. Like when I speak, you just be like okay, like it's okay to give that like I can't marry a woman that like I just can't marry a woman that is not like you said smart or is not willing to improve educationally, like in the sense of how can we like you know that like everything is cool until it's your child that is coming last in the class. So like like I can't really marry a woman that doesn't take pride in like intellectually bettering herself. And lastly, I need a woman that fear God. So if you don't fear God, like can't
Mhm.
really can't really be on your side for real.
So you mentioned four, right? Complimentary makes you better, not a talkative, not smart, as she should be smart, and
Yeah.
fears God, God
God
fearing,
fearing as well. Add that for me as well. I don't know if I forgot that one.
God fearing.
Add that for
Okay.
me.
You were thinking about the
I'm thinking
cooking
about the
and cleaning
human,
now,
the human
and the
things, of
sex.
course.
Human traits and the
Because
coochie.
God fearing is also very important,
Like
actually.
God
Very
fearing, like
important.
yeah, like to me, it's always something I just it's just like you don't need to think about blinking, right? It's just something that should just be there. Like, but
Right,
of course, not everybody is like me or us. You get me? So
right.
it's important to just state it. So for me, the
Dynamics.
very first
She has to
thing,
be a troll.
we'll start with how do we pick her, right? Attractive. She has to be attractive as per physically,
Right,
Of
right.
physically
course, man.
attractive, right?
The
Number one.
paintings.
Like she doesn't have to be a 10 out of 10 or whatever, but she has to be physically attractive to me, right? You get
Right.
me? Then number two will be okay, after she's physically attractive, is going to be, this is a common one, personality, right? Going to be her personality. Like she needs to be someone of substance. She needs to be somebody that is not just a wall or a log of wood that I just have to carry all the conversations, do all the thinking, make all the money. You get me? No contribution from her end. She's just there to enjoy my charisma, my wealth, my all that. No, that's not what I need. I need someone that, you know, has a personality that I can also enjoy. You get me? So
The person now.
yeah. So she has to be smart. That one is literally one of the first ones. She has to be smart, 100% smart. Like when you mean, I don't mean like book smart, like because I know I was trying to equate book smart and
Yeah.
I was trying to call book smart and this thing. I think they are linked together. Some people just are book smart, but if you're like street smart, if you're smart as in you can apply it in solving problems. I think you are also going to be, maybe you will not have the best grades, but you will try better than people that have the best grades. You get me?
I think
So
wisdom and
yeah,
prudence, like,
you get me. So she has to definitely be wise,
mm,
like in that sense. And I will, of course, I will want somebody that is better than me in some areas. I don't want to be the like. I don't want to be. I don't want to be the one with all the like. I don't want to be better in every department. She has to be able to push me in some departments to make myself better. You get me? Like I
Right.
won't want somebody that will make me feel like the king, like feel like a supreme being. Like I want someone that will make me look at myself like, oh, I
you
like
want
this.
the
Let me work
queen.
for this. You get me? Yeah, I need a queen. You get me? I need a queen. Like not
That's a
not
pawn.
a bimbo or a three or
Mm.
four. You get me? So she has to make me, better myself. And last and foremost, I'll say God fearing, which should come first. But,
God fearing
you know,
witch.
God fearing, which yeah, she can do
Oh,
voodoo and stuff. Very important.
important.
But
Ah,
yeah, not my TJ. She has to be God fearing, of course. Like to me, I feel, and yeah, she has to be loving too. I didn't add this. I don't know why. Like she has to have empathy. Like not like when I come back from a rough day, and instead of you to understand, okay, this guy is kind of tired. Yeah, me too. I have to understand. Okay, this maybe she's not seen me for a while, so I have my own due diligence of speaking to her, telling her about my day, talking to her and all that, making her feel like she has a partner, right? Same thing for her. Like if I'm just in a situation where she has to understand and compromise, like understanding and what do you call it? Understanding and what do you call it? Love, right? She has to be able to understand and love me in that sense that okay, he's tired. Let me just speak to him for a bit so he can shower, like rest, eat or something like that. Then we can get back to that. You get me? So that's how I see. But I want to go over this list again because I think I was going over the place. Number one, number one, number one. She has to be able to communicate. Number one, she has to be able to communicate if there's a problem. She must be able to like tell me what is going on. If there is a problem, she must be able to tell me what she thinks we need to do. If just if there's a problem, don't hide things from me. Like you should, we're a partner, so you should communicate. She has to be honest. Number two, she has to be someone that is, you know, not going to tell me lies, someone I can trust with my life basically. Like she has to have that quality. Yeah, so those two come first, and yeah, the rest I added. So those two: communication, trust, and be able to adapt. She has to be very like able to adapt to like conditions that are not expected. It doesn't have to be like like I didn't do my duty, so we're poor or something like that. So she has to adapt to like me being, yeah, that's a good quality to have though. But I need that more in a situation where we just changed the environment, we just changed we moved from here to here. She's used to having sunlight 24/7, I mean 16 hours a day or so, right? But now we've moved to a country where it's just winter, and you're just indoors every day, so you have to be able to adapt to the situation instead of complain like, oh, let's go back here, oh, this game. She just has to be able to adapt. And yeah, I'll just leave it there, man. I think I said enough. But
I have a question for the
yeah,
panel. Do you
all
guys
right.
would you guys like for your for your wife to work? Who's on?
To work.
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
now a
I
nine to
would
nine is
want, yeah, I would
Okay.
want, like, if I'm getting with a girl, like, right now, I would like to hear that, oh, I'm working, or I'm either working towards getting, like, something financially, like, getting myself financially stable in the sense, because there's something about getting yourself financially stable. that makes you a better human being, because there's discipline,
Mm-hmm.
there is faith, as per the ability to believe that you can do it, right? The ability to look at a future that you're not currently living and work towards it with a what do you call it? A firm mind, right? Without doubt that you
Fine.
make it. Even if like you might have doubts, you just push through it. Be brave, basically. So yeah, it's very important that my wife is working in, even if she's not making money from the work, like she should be working on something. Like you can't just be idle in that sense. Like she should be working.
Be
Definitely. I
working
think
and
work
doing
is
stuff.
work is part of the human like life. The blow jobs now. Very important. It's a form
Man,
of
yeah, yeah,
job.
that's a fool, man. Hard work, very
Mm.
important. Only.
But yeah, I think we
Yeah,
touched on the
thoughts.
topic well enough. Like, because what advice would you guys give to men that that have this kind of wiring that, okay, if she can't cook, if she can't clean, it's just raps. Like, do you feel okay? Is a good, okay? We've actually ascertained that it's not really
Yeah.
good
But I think as
pre.
a man, like you
But
should
what
be
would you tell them?
independent. Like as a man, you should before you get into a relationship with a woman, you should, you know, be competent in certain areas and be confident and be independent of a woman as well. Because you don't just want to get a wife to be able to do those things for you. Like she can't just be your
Mm,
mom and that kind of stuff. So you should be able to do those basic things. And yeah,
okay.
that's what I think. Like you should,
Dependent. What do
yeah,
you
you
what do you
should be
think?
independent.
I mean, the in terms of advice, I'll say I'll give, even like even if it means these upcoming children coming up, like I think the first thing I would say is you said in regards to finding a wife, right? Or
Yeah, in regards to, yeah, how they choose their wife, like, you
how they
know.
choose their wife. I mean, like in the end, like it's a very different, it's very subjective in the sense like it depends on like where you are morally. I believe in God and stuff, so I always believe that in the end, like this is more than like just finding a woman and putting a ring on her finger because I like her. Like I'm actually obligated to love her no matter what. So I always believe firstly that if you're going into marriage and you strongly believe in something above you, understand that marriage is not really like from my own perspective and this is my own opinion, like it's not right or wrong. But marriage is not a human invention. So you can't expect to use human efforts to overcome you like something that's not a human invention. So you will always need like the guidance from something above. Secondly is
Mm.
to
Though
also try.
I don't want to be that guy, but I know I don't disagree with that. We talked about that before. So
No,
just
no, right,
keep it pushing, keep it pushing.
right.
Like
And then
the marriage, like
secondly,
being
Yeah, what's
like,
up with
you
your
know.
camera as well? Like everywhere is blurry, but it's just you. Is that did you set it up
I
or?
have blood background.
Oh, blur background. No, no, no.
Mm.
Yeah, but
He's a criminal. He doesn't
secondly,
want
Is
us
that
to
something
know
on
what's
Discord or like
doing.
just your cam?
no, it's
He's
on
a
Discord.
geek now. He knows how to do
I see this. I don't
some
know.
stuff.
Now, but secondly, like the thing too is that I also say is that we, in the end, always take marriage advice from people that are actually married, and the people
Mm.
that are divorced and not married, you should learn from the things they did wrong. So, like, you can't
Mm.
be expecting like if you're trying to get marriage advice from a guy that married 3 times, you can never get successful marriage advice. However, you can learn from the things he did that made him divorce 3 times.
True.
So, like,
You
those
can
are the
always
things
learn.
that I would say. Yeah,
I
like
kind of disagree, but yeah, because
I
I
mean,
think I think as human beings,
right,
right? And I'll tell you the reason I disagree. I think as human beings,
mm,
we always look for things that work. What? Who told you that even if they are still married, they don't have like problems? And okay, say they've not divorced. Fair enough, I understand that point. But what if
right.
they just
No,
hiding the
right,
problems and
right.
you know?
But
But he's too.
I think you're still proving my point in the sense of like,
Yeah.
if you want to know how the marriage works, ask people that are staying married. I didn't say because they are married that everything is blissful.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
so
Their
What he
marriage is
basically
still
said.
working.
So
Huh?
yeah. What
Their
you
marriage
I
is
basically understood from what you were saying is
right,
marriage is not you. Nobody knows marriage,
what's
like
going on? Yeah,
how But if you want
right,
your marriage to last, go and
right,
meet the people that have lasting marriages, right?
right,
If you
right,
also want
last
to
okay,
not
yeah, sorry.
divorce, to not get divorced, go and look at people
right,
that have gotten divorced, so that you
right,
see, those errors they made and
right,
learn from it too. So it's like that
right,
balance. You have to continuously, like,
Right.
update yourself in that sense. I think that's what
Right.
it's trying to say.
Right.
Yeah,
Literally.
exactly. So me, if you ask me, what's my advice for them? Honestly,
Stay hard.
because me, because me as a person, like even this marriage stuff, I'm like, I definitely want to have somebody that will be there for me 24/7, ride or die.
Right.
But I'm getting myself to a point in life where if I really don't get that person, I really will be fine. Like I really would be fine. Like because I also of course I have female friends, right? And
Right.
if my female friends get married, I also thought about that. Like, okay, that means I will not have them as they are with me. Like they won't be as close to me anymore and stuff. But I'll always have friends, and they'll always be, they'll always be single women. Not that I want to sleep with
Oh
them
my
or anything,
spine,
but
oh.
not like I want to sleep with them or anything. It's just that's just life. Like in life,
Yeah.
if you can't get what you want, me because I will not settle for a subpar marriage. I would want to get a wife that I'm sure that not like 100% sure, but to a good degree that this would work well. I'm not going to settle for a wife that is not up to standards because I want to just get married. And so my popsy or momsy can see their grandkids. Sorry, mom. Sorry, dad. Maybe my sister will show you grandkids, maybe, but not me. You get so. But of course, I'm not cursing myself. I want to get married. I want to I like the idea. But then again, you're now getting into the argument of how many wives and stuff like that. So I'm a bit cheeky there when it comes to when it comes to how many.
This guy, man.
You hear me? So we'll leave that there. But
There's
to
one wife,
any
you're a
man,
Christian.
all right.
It's one wife
You
now.
should know
First thing,
that.
it's one wife. We
Unless you
agree, it's one
convert,
wife.
it's one
But
wife, buddy. Only.
you know, life is
No,
life is interesting.
but let me tell you something though. God never
But
punished
let me
anyone in the
just yeah.
Bible for having
let me
multiple
just say one thing before before you
God
go.
never punished anyone in the Bible for having multiple wives. I'm
Exactly.
just saying.
That's my point. That's also my
I'm
point.
just
So,
saying. I'm just
like,
saying.
But
most of all those kings
as a
had
Christian, it's
wives.
one wife, Sha. So if you want to be a
No,
No,
Muslim,
but
I
even
you
in
think
go and
that's
that
marry
cool.
Bible,
one.
I
like
really think
Bible
that's
that is
cool.
the word of
I really
God,
think
God
that's
never
cool
punished anybody for
because
having
nobody
multiple wives.
was like me. I've rationalized it. I'm like, as
Right,
long as you're not cheating on whoever you're married with, right?
right,
If I say, oh, you're going to be wifey number one, there are three other wives coming.
Yeah.
As long as she knows that, right? You have my good wishes. You have my prayers, right? But if you're going behind your wife and you're doing stuff, that is the
Yeah,
problem.
crouching.
God has always punished all those kind of behaviors. Like
right.
David, the guy thought it was sly, sent this guy to battlefront so he can enjoy his wife. Like, come on,
I
bro.
get
Like
that.
you had so many. Like that's the sad part. You have so many. You have what is gold, and you're looking for bronze. Like what is going
Maybe
on? You
that
get me?
was platinum. You never know.
I don't know,
No,
man.
but in the end, like personally, ideally for me, I think I can only handle mentally one woman.
No, yeah, same.
Like
I've thought about it. Like I'm like, nah.
yeah,
Like
like
that's
you as
one
long as I
reason.
can see
Solomon
as
guy
long
had
as
to
I
beg
see what
God.
I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Solomon
like
guy had to beg God. Yeah.
I just have to just get one. Like
But
my
you can
mind,
have sides like chicken wings and all.
No, no, no. Come on, bro.
sides,
Come on.
a
Come
plate,
on.
a plate of a plate of beans besides,
You have to
Come
have
on.
some wings now. Very
A pound of
important.
flesh.
Only.
a pound of flesh besides.
Uh,
And fries.
but yeah, I was trying to say something, but I think I've forgotten. But
Multiple wives.
yeah, yeah. It's just yeah, exactly. So my point to you guys at the end of the day is be a person that can survive regardless of the situation. Anybody that comes to compliment you is fine, is good. And when the person comes, right, be ready to step away from some duties that they are better at doing so that they also have a part in the partnership, right? Because if they don't get that, okay, this is what I bring to the table, this is what you bring to the table, there would be that level of worthlessness that would come with it. So you should always, I feel you should make attain your best self. Do go for the best, right? Do the best things. Make yourself an outstanding person, right? But also be ready to be ready to step away from for someone that is more qualified to do what you're already doing. Like if you know, oh, you can cook, you're a great cook, right? But your wife is better at doing it. Let her do it. But if you think you're better than her at cooking, my guy, don't let her cook shit for you, man. Okay, I'm joking. Like you can let her cook for you, but you get what I mean. Like, so you should know your strengths. Also, I want us to go around on this one. What advice would you guys give for women that are, looking for future husbands? Because this channel is not a channel that's just one-sided. Like we also
Um,
want the woman to thrive.
Finally, you can
So
go.
I'll go first because mine will be very quick.
yeah.
I don't have advice, and part of the reason I don't have advice is that I'm not a woman.
Mm.
The one thing I would say is that they should seek God fearing women that are also on the
God
journey
fearing
of looking
women.
for men. Yes, now it's only
Like
men that
as
check.
models. Yeah.
Like as
Okay,
models,
okay,
like
okay. Sorry,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I thought you meant like as a spouse or
Yeah,
something
like
like that.
like other women that are
Alright.
also
Yeah, as
in like
models.
discussions, organizations, communities like this that are trying to better themselves and actually improve themselves and get wives. Like as a man, I have no advice for a woman.
Okay.
Advice would
So
be
TJ.
just choose wisely. Choose a man with values, like a man that you vetted, not just someone that's arouses you at a certain time and you don't like think of the future. For instance, like the bad guys. For instance,
Mm-hmm.
choose someone that you see yourself building a family with, like building a long-term relationship with, and you know that has qualities that can better you and you can also better him in certain, like you can complement each other as you said. So yeah.
Yeah. For me, it's going to be the same thing because I always view it as I'm talking to human beings here. So it's never a man or woman thing in my head. So it's the same advice I give to men, I give to women. Try to be your best self in whatever you do, right? Just do not settle for mediocrity. I like the saying I heard from you recently. I think I said
Oh,
mediocre is average and average is not acceptable.
uh,
You
there
can't
is
you
a
can't accept it. It is not
Stay hard.
acceptable to be, yeah, stay hard. Or you're a woman, so I don't know
Yeah, man.
how you guys get hard,
You just
but
have to stay
you
hard,
know,
man.
just find a
In
way to
other
stay hard.
areas.
Yeah, so
like
so but for real, like just aim for the best. If you know they can be better, then aim for better. Like don't settle for less. You get me? And yeah, be ready to step away for somebody that can do better than you. And know when to be quiet, know when to speak. Like all those things. Like same thing for me. So yeah, I think we are right
We're
on
wrapping
track
up
here.
now.
Yeah, we're wrapping up
I was
here.
going to
So
say if I that like that saying like is modified. The actual saying I said like the guy was better clear. He said average is the enemy. Success is your responsibility, and change can take place in an instant when you decide to flip the switch.
there you have it, guys. There you have. Can you say that one more time? One more time.
Slowly.
All right, let me say it again. Average is the enemy.
Average is
Success is your
enemy.
responsibility, and
Success
change
is
can
your
take place in
responsibility.
an instant when you decide to flip the switch.
Right on, man. Right on. Once you decide that, oh, I want to be this person tomorrow, is you're the one keeping yourself back,
Hmm.
basically. So I like that. I like that a lot.
There's another
So
one.
yeah,
I think it goes
guys.
like success is failure turned inside out, something like that. Have you guys heard that one?
Mm,
No.
success. Yeah, I think I get what you're saying. Like they're basically saying you need to fail a certain amount
Yeah.
of time to
Yeah.
Right.
succeed.
But
Yeah.
right.
But yeah, guys, there you flipping have it. Thank you all for coming to this great podcast. Of course, like the video. Go over to TTV underscore TJ Rockstar
Yeah, Rockstar
to
now.
catch TJ on Twitch. If I don't know if you have anything you need us to shout out, could you just say it right now?
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
Well,
Okay.
he's
In
a
the
boxer,
future,
man.
watch
Look
out.
out
He's a
for him.
boxer.
Look out
Look
for
out for
him.
the
The
guy,
next
man.
Mayweather.
Mayweather. Watch out, man.
Actually, Fury.
Anyway,
No,
and
Fury. Fury.
Tyson,
Actually, Fury.
Nganu. I've been
The
seeing you doing
heavyweight.
something.
I
Nganu.
beg, go.
And yeah,
Guy weighs
watch this video here.
116. Holy. Guy is
Guys,
26. No. 30 kilos heavier than me. What the heck, man? Jeez.
I'm
watch this
taller
video
than you.
here.
Man.
Watch this video here if you enjoyed this. Catch you all in the next one. Love you all. Peace.
Peace, boys.
And I'm still here. Just ending the stream.
Yeah, I'm in the stream too.
No,
I'm
no.
about to do my workout now.